Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily English Conversation Club. I'm Zara, and I'm really happy you're here with us today. Before we jump into today's conversation, just a quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this with your friends, because honestly, today's topic is something almost everyone can connect with. We're talking about friendship problems. Yeah, a topic that sounds simple, but when you're actually going through it, it can feel confusing, emotional, and sometimes even stressful. So today, we're going to keep it real, relaxed, and natural, just like two friends talking.
Hey guys, I'm Leo, and yeah, I'm really glad we're talking about this today. Friendship problems are something we don't always talk about openly, but they affect us a lot, sometimes more than we expect. Like you can be having a normal day, and then suddenly you remember something your friend said or didn't say, and your mood just changes. And the interesting thing is, most friendship problems don't happen because people are bad. They usually happen because of misunderstandings, different expectations, or just not communicating properly.
Yeah, that's so true. I think one of the biggest reasons friendship problems happen is because of unspoken expectations. Like, we expect our friends to understand us without us clearly saying anything. For example, if we're feeling low or stressed, we expect our friend to notice it and support us, but maybe they're dealing with their own problems, or maybe they just didn't realize. And then we feel hurt even though we never actually told them what we needed.
Exactly. And I think assumptions play a huge role too. When something small happens, like a late reply, we don't just see it as a simple thing. We start thinking deeper, sometimes too much. We create stories in our minds, like, oh, they're ignoring me, or maybe they don't care anymore. And once we believe those thoughts, our behavior changes. We become quiet, distant, or even a little cold, and that creates confusion for the other person.
Yeah, and it becomes like a chain reaction. One small misunderstanding leads to another, and suddenly the friendship feels different. It's actually surprising how fast things can change just because people didn't communicate clearly. This reminds me of something that happened to someone I know. Let's call them Ria and Ananya. They were really close friends. Like, they used to talk every day, share everything, and support each other through everything. But then Ria started a new job, and her schedule became really busy. She couldn't reply quickly anymore, and sometimes she would even forget to reply.
Yeah, that happens a lot when life gets busy.
Exactly. But Ananya didn't see it that way. She started feeling ignored. She thought, oh, maybe I'm not important to her anymore. And instead of asking Ria directly, she just kept those feelings inside. Slowly, she stopped messaging as much, and her replies became shorter.
So both of them started pulling away without actually saying anything.
Yes, exactly. And the sad part is, both of them still cared about each other. But because they didn't talk honestly, the distance grew. Finally, after weeks, they had a conversation and they realized everything was just a misunderstanding.
That's actually kind of sad, but also very real. It shows how important communication is. Listening to that story reminds me of something from my own life. There was a time when I had a really good friend, and we used to hang out a lot. But slowly, I started feeling like I was always the one making plans. So I thought, maybe they don't really care. Instead of asking them, I just stopped reaching out. And guess what? They also stopped reaching out. So we both thought the other person didn't care.
Oh, wow, that's such a common situation.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, later we talked and realized that both of us were just overthinking. They were actually waiting for me to message, and I was waiting for them. It sounds silly now, but at that time, it felt very real.
Yeah, I totally get that. I've had something similar happen. There was a time when I stopped talking to a friend for almost a month, and honestly, it was because of something very small, like a misunderstanding in a conversation. But both of us were a little stubborn. We didn't want to say sorry first.
Ah, ego.
Exactly. Ego made the situation bigger than it needed to be. Finally, one day I just sent a simple message like, "Hey, I've missed talking to you." And the reply came instantly. It made me realize that sometimes we just need to take that first step.
You know, if I had to describe friendships in a simple way, I'd say they're like the weather. Sometimes everything feels warm and easy, like a sunny day. You laugh, you talk, everything flows naturally. But then there are days when things feel a little cloudy. Maybe not bad, but not perfect either. And sometimes there are storms, arguments, silence, misunderstandings. But the important thing to remember is that storms don't last forever.
Yeah, I really like that way of thinking. It makes friendship problems feel less scary. Like instead of thinking, oh no, everything is over, we can think, okay, this is just a phase. And if we handle it calmly, things can get better again. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this conversation so far, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We share real, everyday English conversations like this.
And yeah, make sure to share this with your friends, especially someone who might need to hear this today.
So let's talk about solutions. I think the most important thing is communication. Even if it feels awkward, just talk. You don't need perfect English. You can say something simple like, "Hey, I felt a little hurt when this happened." That one sentence can open the door to understanding.
Yeah, and I'd add that tone matters too. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. If you sound calm and honest, the other person is more likely to listen. But if you sound angry or blaming, they might become defensive.
That's true. And listening is just as important as speaking. Sometimes we're so focused on explaining our side that we forget to understand the other person's feelings.
Exactly. Good communication is not just talking, it's also listening, understanding, and being open to different perspectives.
So today we used some useful words and phrases in a natural way. For example, misunderstanding means when two people don't understand each other correctly.
We also used assumption, which means thinking something is true without checking.
And ego, which is when you don't want to accept your mistake or say sorry.
Yeah, ego can really damage relationships if we're not careful.
At the end of the day, friendships are not perfect, and that's okay. Problems don't mean the friendship is weak, they just mean something needs attention.
Yeah, and sometimes one simple message, one honest conversation can fix things that felt very complicated.
So if you're thinking about reaching out to a friend, maybe this is your sign to do it. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode on friendship problems.
We hope you enjoyed this honest and natural conversation.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
And yeah, make sure to share this with your friends.
We'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.